Hey guys, how's it going? It is my different username here, and today we're definitely going to be doing something different for sure. We actually have a modern day pistol that you normally wouldn't see from any video game or anything like that, but this was actually a requested build, more of a commission from a friend of mine, so I wanted to do the favor of making her sister's birthday gift into reality. So here we have the LEGO CZ P-07 pistol made out of LEGO. So, the CZ P-07 is the compact variant of the original CZ-75 pistol and was introduced to law enforcement as well as the civilian market in 2009. And this weapon has seen a few modifications later on, like cutouts in the front of the slide, improving the design very slightly in 2014. But that's really all the history we have for this. It's still a fairly new pistol, and the main reason we built this wasn't necessarily to learn its history. So, let's get into some of its details. Starting off with the grip area, we can see it has a very interesting design on both sides, and I try to imitate this from the real life version as well as possible, using some headlight bricks and wedge pieces to follow the pattern. As well, the trigger guard here is a lot bigger than most normally are, but even with this small grip size, it still does fit well enough and overall feels really secured even while holding. The whole grip is even large enough to accept the standard 15 round magazine from CZ, which features a few cut holes here and there, as well as the 9x19mm cartridge sitting on top of the magazine, with a reinforced spring plate on the bottom. And most of this pistol frame is relatively based off of my Glock 17 model, so it works with the same type of magazine release system operated by a pen spring that you can see right here. It even makes a very satisfying click when engaging. And on top of the grip area, we have our ambidextrous Decocker and safety/fire switch. When you see red, it means that it is now officially in fire mode, and to go back into safety, simply cover up the red. And it's really cool to get the two ends to manipulate with one another, but that's about as much as that can really do because it actually has no effect whatsoever on the trigger or the hammer in the slightest. To top it all off, it even has a little ring slot below to fit a little lanyard through as well. How neat. Moving up to take a look at the slide itself, we can see that there's actually a front area to this, and there are two versions to this slide, one with cuts and one without. And my model just doesn't necessarily have cuts, but the pieces used almost resemble the form of the cuts in a sense, while still being smooth like the duty version. In the back, the hammer lines up with the fire pin channel, and with every slide back, we can reset the hammer each and every time. The slide can even move back by 5 studs, which is really nice considering the size of this pistol. It just really helps in making the gun feel all that more authentic. It even has a chamber area on the inside of the slide. And this pistol features a big ol' slide lock, which is great and easy to access from the grip. This even includes a small Picatinny rail that sits below the frame for stuff like flashlights and lasers too. In the front, we have the barrel and the guide rod. They're simple enough as is, but there's actually more on this that we can talk about later on. So, for now, we could take a good look at these pistol sights up here, which are just good enough to use for close range engagements, but considering this is LEGO, we actually have a lot of options when it comes to modifying what we have here. So, I figured why not add something else to this as well, and here we have the Viper Red Dot Sight. So this is the Viper Red Dot Sight made by Vortex, and it's a really great red dot sight in reality because part of the reason I made it was because it was inspired from my own personal sight as well as another project that I have planned out. But this sight fits super well on my gun here, and I've seen that it is totally possible to mount optics onto the CZ, so that's what I did here. Now granted, this red dot sight was technically made for only aesthetic reasons, but truthfully, a little part of me kind of wishes that I did make it a working red dot. But even I know that a standard light brick would definitely be way too big for a design as small as this. It does, however, represent the details on the original sight, like the brightness adjustments on the side, the adjustment keys in the back, and the curvature of the window in the very front. And there are some cool ways to manipulate the slide as well, using only the red dot as an easier gripping point. As mentioned earlier, our barrel has another attribute to share, and just as I've seen with the red dots on the CZ through my research, I've also seen suppressors being used as well. So here, we have the suppressor for the CZ. Here we have what is a very typical looking can design of mine, and it's fitted with this distinct square barrel used to mount to the entire assembly of this pistol, and I've actually used this technique before when it came to my Louison video. For the most part, I wasn't trying to make a super impressive looking suppressor, but I did more or less build this as a proof of concept of what is made to be modular on this design. In fact, both the red dot and suppressor were both designed to be removed properly from this pistol. Like with the red dot, a simple 2x3 plate is lifted off to release the entire mount, and simply setting the original iron sights back in is no issue at all. And now, the pistol has a more spy aesthetic to it rather than the tactical setup we had earlier. But the process to remove the suppressor isn't as simple, but isn't also much more difficult either. And from the sides, pinching it upwards, you could separate the You could carefully take apart the chamber from the lower grip. And now, we have full access to the barrel portion, and it can be snapped out of place to go and fit its original non-threaded barrel piece instead. And then can be sandwiched back together to secure the whole barrel and slide, bringing us our original form of the CZ P-07 once again. So, in conclusion, the CZ P-07 maybe doesn't get its name out there too much, but there is something to be said about the real-life version and my LEGO model. Both are very competent in what they try to achieve, and this pistol feels so well balanced, not only from the ergonomics, but all the way to the small details that completely surround this weapon at every single angle. It's even really robust, more so than my older Glock model, which definitely puts this pistol as one of my favorite modern pistol designs overall, and it feels better to know that this will actually be given away as a gift to someone who will truly appreciate it. So I thank my friend for requesting this commission to me in the beginning. If it wasn't for her, I would have never even known how cool of a gun this would have even turned out to be, and I hope this has impressed you as well as it has impressed me. So guys, if you really enjoyed the pistol and maybe even want to check it out for yourself, there is a link to its instructions down below in my description. Also, if you guys aren't subscribed, I would definitely recommend to subscribe if you want to see more LEGO weapon content later in the future. I definitely got a few surprises coming up as well. Like, favorite, and comment if you guys have enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching.